Hey guys, today's video is on how to go ahead and put the toolpaths on and program our marbles board. This might be a little bit longer video, but I want it to be nice and detailed and hopefully answer some questions you guys might have. So the first thing we're going to do, we open this up. We're currently in our design drawing tab up here. We're going to click on that. We're going to come over to manufacture. And that'll kind of change what everything looks like up at the top here. We need to go ahead and download some tools. So let me pull this window over here. In Google Classroom, if you go to, where's that here? Mill Tools, Marble Board Tools. We want to open with. Click on open a new tab, and then you can download them right here, up here. And once those have downloaded, back in here, if you click this little guy right here, the tool library, that will open this pop-up window. Under local right here, doesn't matter which one of these you click on. I'm just going to go ahead and right click. I'm going to go import libraries, and then you can come under downloads right here and click on marble board tools and open. And in that there should be 4 tools. There should be an 1.5" face mill, a spot drill, a drill, and then a ball end mill. Once you get those in, go ahead and close out of that window. Another thing we need to check before we get going is your units need to be set to inches. I believe it defaults to millimeters, so come over here, switch this to inches, and check this little check box. Set as default, check that, click OK. So now we are in inches. Okay, so we have this all set up. It's ready to start programming now. We need to go ahead and put some material around this so it knows, the computer knows what size the material is that we are working with. So to do that, we're going to do that within this setup right here. And as soon as you click on that, you'll see you get kind of a translucent box that appears around the outside of what we have drawn. That is good. That's what we want. And it'll open this pop-up window also. So typically when you get these pop-up windows, you'll start from left to right at the top, and then you'll go top down. This one's kind of the exception to that. I like to start with the stock first, just to get my stock size set, and then I'll go back and I will adjust the setup. So starting at the top here, I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click fixed size box because I want to be able to measure the actual material that I have. You guys will be using the same material that I have, so you can just go ahead and use these same sizes. So on our X, we're going to be 5.8 or 5.84. On our Y, we are going to be 5, and on our Z, we're going to be 0.5. And we're going to leave all these on center. So that'll add that extra little bit of material on the ends here. Now we can come back over to our setup. This is where I think Fusion could do a little bit better. This is kind of hard to get this set up. But if you drew this right, remember when we were doing our first sketch, I told you that you wanted to click on that top plane. That makes this a lot easier. So to move this origin, we want to move it up to this corner here. I'm just going to go ahead and click that origin dot, and then I'm going to click the corner of my stock right there, and it's going to move it up to the right, just like that. And that's the way we want it. We want our X going to the right, we want our Y going back, and we want our Z going up. Okay. If you didn't start your drawing on the top view, this is going to be a lot harder to set up. What you're going to have to do is on this arrow, there's two parts that are clickable. There's the tail, and then there's the head of the arrow. So the head of the arrow, if you click that, it's going to flip the direction it's going. It'll also move the origin, so you're going to have to move it back. If you click the tail, you can click that, and then you can click on something on here. You can say, okay, I want this edge to be aligned with my X. So click this, click that edge. Click this, and then click this edge here. I'm not going to do that because it's already going the right way that I want it to go. So we're going to leave it just like that. We'll say okay to that. So now everything, when we draw this, and when we go to machine, this is going to reference this corner. I think when we drew it originally, I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think that was the origin. That origin no longer exists because we just placed this on it. So let's come up here to face. And like I said, with these, you're going to work left to right on these, top down. So first you have to select your tool. So I'm going to click select. We're going to come into our marble board tools. And I want to use this 1.5" face mill. And let's look and see. So it's defaulted at 3,000 RPM, ramping at 3,000, cutting feed rate of 30, feed per tooth at 0.003, lead in at 30, lead out at 30, transition of 30 inches a minute, ramp at 15, plunge at 15. This all looks good. At the bottom here, I have the coolant on the flood coolant. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to go ahead and disable that. Just because a face mill makes a lot of mess with the coolant, we don't really need it on. Makes it hard to see through the door. So I'm going to go ahead and disable that. We'll come to the next one over here. Tool orientation. It's not really going to matter for what we're doing. Geometry, if we don't click on anything, you see it puts this big box around there. It's going to face everything within that box, which is what we want. Heights. For facing, we're going to set these all to stock top, stock top, stock top, stock top, and stock top. That's because we have some stock on top of here. We want it to machine that stock off. And we're going to go in. This bottom height always has to be a negative. So let's go in negative 0.02. Let's go 0.03, just in case they're a little bit not very flat or have some scratches in it. We'll machine all those out. Under passes here at the top, pass direction, we're just going to go at a 0 degree direction. Pass extension, that's coming out half the cutter diameter. Stock offset, let's go ahead and bump that up to we'll go 1.0. Step over. It's stepping over half the cutter diameter, which will be fine. Remember, it's a 1/2 inch, or sorry, 1.5 inch, and it's going over 0.75. That'll be okay. We don't need to do multiple depths because we're just taking off 30 thousandths. That'll be okay to take off in one pass. Usually, if I have to take off about more than 50 thousandths, I'll do 0.05. I'll do multiple depths. And we don't want to leave any stock. We want it to take off everything, that full 30 thousandths. Linking. Let's go ahead and leave that all the same. So if we click OK on that, that will give us a preview of what it is going to do. And I'll show you later on how we are going to simulate this so we can actually see what it's doing when it's cutting. So the next ones we're going to go ahead and do is our spot drill, and then we'll go ahead and drill. So I'm going to come up under drilling right here. I don't want to use my face mill for that, so I'm going to select a different tool. Come to marble board tools, select my spot drill, select that. And let's see what we have for defaults here. 5,000 RPM, plunge rate of 13, plunge per tooth is 3,000. Yep, this all looks good. And I have my flood coolant on. You want the coolant on for this one. Geometry, faces. I'm going to go ahead and click on points. And this is just a matter of going through and clicking all my points. You guys get the point. I'm not going to go through and continue clicking on all these, but you're going to want to go through, click all the center points of your circles. Under heights here, we are going to go from stock top, stock top, stock top, stock top, stock top, and for the whole bottom, let's go. You got to remember we faced off 30 thousandths, so everything is 30 thousandths down now. Let's set it to -0.1. When we watch the simulation, we'll see if we want to go deeper than that or not. Kind of what I want to do is when we spot drill these, I want it to be deeper than the diameter of the drill. And that'll make more sense once we run the simulation on it. So that'll put a little chamfer on the edge also. So we might have to come back in and adjust this number a little bit. Cycle, we're just going to leave this on drilling, rep it out. And we're going to leave all those linking parameters the same also. So let's say OK to that. Okay, so that one looks good. I don't want to have to go through and re-click all my circles, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on this. I am going to create a derived operation, drilling, drill. We'll go in, we'll change our tool to the 1/8 inch drill bit. It's like that. Go ahead and check our parameters, 5,000. Plunge rate of 18, that'll be okay. Retract at 40. Retract, yep, that looks good. Our flood coolant is on. Geometry, it's got all the holes I selected, which for you guys it should be all the holes. Heights, we're going to leave these all at stock top. But let's go ahead and go for the bottom height. Let's go -0.375. Cycle. We want to go ahead and chip break on this because it is a little bit deeper. So we'll go partial retract, and I'm just going to leave all these defaults just like that. And under linking, I'm not going to change anything in there either. And the last thing we need to do is we're going to go into our 2D and we're going to do a 2D contour. Select our tool. On this one we're going to use the ball end mill right here. 1/8 inch ball end mill. Select that. What are our defaults? 5,000 RPM. Ramp speed of 5,000. Cutting feed rate of 20. Feed per tooth of 2,000. 0.002. Lead in of 20. Lead out of 20. Transition of 20. Ramp 13. Plunge 13. That all looks good. Make sure our flood coolant is on. Geometry. I'm going to go ahead and select. Oop. I don't want it to select my face. I'm going to go ahead and select my text here. And I'm also going to select all of my lines. That's everything, right? Yep. Under heights, we'll set these to stock top, stock top, stock top, stock top, stock top. And remember, we faced off 30 thousandths. So if we go negative point through up, that is not negative, negative 0.03, that'll get us to the top of where we were, and we want it to be, let's go ahead and say 2 thousandths deep, so 2, that'll make our engraving 2 thousandths deep. Under passes here, this is an important one. Compensation type. So we're trying to cut on a line. So if you think you've got a round cutter and you want it to be centered on that line, you're going to have to turn the compensation off, because it's going to either try and compensate on one side of the line or the other side of the line. But we want it to cut down the middle. So compensation type, we're going to go ahead and turn that off. Finish feed rate, we'll leave it at 20. Work our way down here. Roughing passes multiple depths, stock to leave. We're not doing any of that stuff. Come over here to linking. Let's take a look at all this. We're going to leave this all the same. Lead-ins and transitions. We don't want a lead-in, because that means it's going to come down, it's going to plunge into our material right here, and it's going to do a little arc. And then when it gets to the end, if it has a lead out, it's going to do a little arc right here also. So we're going to turn that off, and we're going to turn lead out off. So lead in and lead out, uncheck those boxes. And we should be good to go. Pre-drill positions, can I use drill positions? What? Pre-drill positions cannot use drill positions because keep tool down is not activated. I'm going to say yes on that for now. And then I'm going to go ahead and simulate it and see what it's talking about. So, to simulate this whole thing, what we're going to do is we're going to right click on setup, come to simulate. And when I simulate any toolpath, I don't want to see any of my drawing. So I come to model and I click the little eyeball right here. That turns that off. And it's probably going to be blank on your guys' screen because it doesn't have anything on. Make sure you have your tool on. I usually turn toolpath on, and I'll turn stock on. The other one I turn on, where is it at? Right here, under stock, stop at collision. Go ahead and turn that checkbox on also. Little bit about how this all works. So down here at the bottom, this slider is your speed. Play is obviously play. This will skip you, it's like if I'm playing, that'll skip you one forward. This will skip you to the next operation. So it'd skip me from my face down to my drill. This skips you all the way to the end. But we want to go ahead and watch it. And I usually watch it at a slower rate so I can kind of see what's going on. So this is what I was talking about with that spot drill. I wanted it to put a chamfer around here, but I don't want the chamfer that big, so we're gonna have to go into that bottom height and fix that. Okay, and that all looks good. Our engraving looks good. I don't know what that warning was all about. Let's go back in and we'll change the bottom height on our spot drill here. We'll edit that. Turn the model block on. Heights, bottom height. And this is just kind of guess and check. So let's go 0.08. That is not 0.08. Okay. I don't want to edit. I want to simulate. And I'm just going to skip to the end because I just want to see if that's a big enough chamfer. Yeah, that's what we want. A little bit of a chamfer around our holes. That looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and exit the simulation. And the last thing we need to do, so go ahead and have me verify this, make sure everything is good, looking good the way it should be. Once it is, you can go out to the mini mill. It's the gray machine out there in the shop, kind of on like the left side of the shop as you're heading out. It says mini mill on it. In the front of that machine, there should be a blue thumb drive. Go ahead and grab that, bring it, plug it into your computer. Come to setup, right click on it. No, you don't want to edit. You want to post process. And under the post, if you click on this, there's not going to be anything in here for you guys. You have to load it. So to load that, if you click this little file right here, we're going to go to Fusion Library, Milling, under Vendor, you want Haas Automation. And this is really important. You want the Haas pre-NGC. So make sure you're clicking on that one. We're going to click Select. It's probably not going to have local on here right away, so click the three little dots. Click Local. Mine's already on it, so. And then click Copy to My Posts. I'm not going to do that because I've already got one version on there. But you guys go ahead and click on that. And then that will put the Haas pre-NGC right here. Go ahead and click on that one. File name. Go ahead and put your name. Marble board. Working our way down here. I don't have the thumb drive plugged in right now, but if you click on that folder, I believe it's titled Mini Mill, so it'll have the little thumb drive symbol, Mini Mill. Go ahead and click on that, click Select Folder. And then on the right side here, really important, use G0 has to be selected or your program won't work. So go ahead and click on that. Once you have that all set up, go ahead and click Post, and it'll take a minute, and then it will go ahead and post. And also make sure you go ahead and save this. It doesn't automatically save. And then go and grab me and I'll help get you set up on the mini mill. And we'll go ahead and cut them out.